This is Joe Peters from MomFit with Joe Peters. Welcome to the World Network and the Spanglish World Network and the H.E.R Network on single TV channels 250 and 251. Please remember to download the respective iOS, the respective. Um, please remember to download the single TV app in the respective iOS stores and Android devices. While you are downloading it, make sure to leave a comment. The app is free. Single TV is also available on Google Chromecast, Amazon Fire, Fire TV, Roku, and Roku Stick in all the smart TVs since 2016. Now, if you are not following me yet on social media, I will invite you to go to Joe Unicorn Coach in Instagram or Facebook and follow me. I handle my social media personally. So if you are having an issue, a question, a challenge on terms of motherhood, and you are trying to win the marathon of motherhood without burnout, go there, send me a message. We will talk, and if I don't have the answer, I will find somebody like Daniela to help you on thriving and winning the marathon of motherhood. Today, I am super excited. Some of you know this from me. I'm super excited because this topic is very close to my heart, and it's the topic of breastfeeding and conscious motherhood. I'm excited to have Daniela here. Daniela is a super mom of 5-year-old twins, and um, she has always been a person to that helping others, even since she was a little kid in school. She studied economics and then had a specialization on international business. And then when she became a mother, she found her true passion because she realized that she could work in her own enterprise mom and also give support to other moms in their motherhood journey, mainly on breastfeeding. She has created alliances with pediatricians, sleep coaches, yoga trainers, personal therapists, psychotherapists, and many other moms to help moms to do what I always tell you in the show, and is have a support team, had an entire team behind you. And with that, she's been able to offer courses, workshops, and many other activities that are focused on solving the most recurrent doubts and challenges throughout motherhood process. Daniela, it is a pleasure to have you here. It is very exciting for me to have leading experts and leaders in the motherhood topic, and it's always a little more exciting when they are from my country, and I love that paisa accent. So welcome, welcome, welcome. Why we don't just start with a couple of things: the story of how you transition from economics into this passion on breastfeeding and lactation, and then talking a little bit about your phrase. One of the things that I ask my guest here is, what is a phrase that you would like to share? And your phrase was, nothing lasts forever. We were talking in the backstage before we went air about my journey with my baby on breastfeeding, that I'm right now at that point. I'm like, for how long is going to last? So welcome, Daniela, and let's gonna start with your story and why you choose that phrase, nothing lasts forever.
Okay, thank you so much, Joe. The pleasure is mine to be here. Thanks a lot, because I am so excited of for being here with you. Okay, so I'm going to explain you a little bit how was this transition. As you said, I studied economics, and like 6 years ago, I was pregnant, and from that moment, I thought that my decision and my conviction was to breastfeed my twins. So we realized that we would have twins from uh, date with our obstetrician. So she told us, you will have twins. So I realized that, I don't know, it was like a dream because we weren't expected that. So I began to study and to read about a breastfeeding process because I wanted to breastfeed my twins. So everybody told me it is so difficult. Twins is a hard work, so it is difficult for you. So I began to study and to read a lot, and I got a successful breastfeeding until 2 years and 4 months old. Now my twins are 5 years old, and then I discovered my passion. And I discovered that I could mix like my studies and also my true passion, that is help people and help moms. And first of all, it began like my friends call me, hey, help me with my lactation, help me with my baby, you know a lot about this. And I say to me, I don't know, this is not my work. But I start to to study harder and study each case, because I always say that each breastfeeding process is different from the others. So no one has the same lactation process from the other mom, because it's very difficult, it's very specific. Also, I have twins, and each baby was very different from the other. One of my baby was so like patient. He was concentrated while was breastfeeding, and the other one was very lazy. He was doing many things while he was breastfeeding. So it is very different. So I started and I discovered it was my passion, and I created like a community that is called Mom. It has two meanings: mom as like the mother, and also mothers united in motherhood. So it began at this moment that I discovered that I could help other moms in breastfeeding and other issues related to motherhood.
Thank you, Daniela. That is so true. And I love the meaning of mom, mothers united in motherhood. I love that. Now, let's gonna talk a little bit about why you said and why you think that breastfeeding is a teamwork. Because I know it's very easy, especially for new moms. And this is something that I want to be very clear of, because at the beginning of my work, I start working only with um, first time moms. And then I was like, well, it's just first time moms. But as more as I start dealing with it and I start working on things, topics like breastfeeding, I start finding that actually every time that you have a child, you're a first time mom because of what you said with your twins. Every kid is different. So even if your first child, you had a completely beautiful, peaceful, easy breastfeeding journey, you don't know if with the second one is going to be completely different. So but it is very common to assume, well, the mom is the one that had the boobies, so that is the mom's job. Is mom's job to breastfeed. Let's gonna talk a little bit about that, a lot, little bit about even when the mom is the one with the boobs feeding, what kind of support she needs, what kind, if she can do it alone, or if it's more a teamwork, and what do you mean with breastfeeding is a teamwork?
I like this question because I have like some phrases, or yes, like some mantras. I don't know. And one of these phrases is that breastfeeding is not only mother work, it's a teamwork, and it's because the emotions, the psychological condition of the mom is very important in breastfeeding, because breastfeeding starts in the brain. It doesn't start in the ovaries. So this is very important because the mom needs to be so calm, comfortable, relaxed. The moms needs to rest, to eat well, to be hydrated, and she needs to be like in peace, in a comfortable space. And this is the point that I recommend when I start like the support to a mom, because for example it is very important when the mom starts the breastfeeding, and then the father maybe doesn't know what to do or how to help or something like that. So um, I always say to the parents, to the family, the friends of the mom. So it is very important that the mom feels comfortable. So you could help her with the food, with the other, like with the other homeworks, many things. So this is very important, and I always repeat that the breastfeeding process does not start in boobies, it starts in brain. And like I think is the answer. The mom needs always help, teamwork, and everybody trying to help her with many issues. And that is because I built my project mom, because for me the most important person in this situation is the mom.
I really, really, really love what you are saying about the breastfeeding doesn't start in the boobies, it start in the brain. And it is true because we need that relaxation. Like, for example, I know I have a lot of problems with breastfeeding early on, and getting there and being stressed and being worried about it just make it worse and worse and worse. So absolutely love that. Now, for these moms that we are talking about, like, the process is different. Even if you already have kids, each
Yes.
kid can have a different process, and nobody should compare motherhood or breastfeeding processes. Why that happened? Why I can have different processes and different journeys with what kid versus the other one?
Okay. I think that, as I told you before, the emotional conditions, um, many things, the emotional conditions, the maybe the pregnancy is very different, and if this is a preterm baby of the maybe the baby born okay or is healthy, or if not. So the conditions are very different in each baby. And I have had like help moms with the second baby. They had a first time breastfeeding process and it was perfect, but then with the second baby, maybe they realized that this is not the same. And for example, the production is different because maybe they are relaxed or maybe they are stressed. And this is like the point that the moms shouldn't compare nothing, nothing. The babies or the breastfeeding or the production or the stress always is different. So I think that this is very important that the family and the support team always be for the mom, supporting the mom, helping her. I think is the point that everything in motherhood is always different.
That is so true. Now let's gonna talk a little bit about the journey of breastfeeding and what a mom can expect. And then we have been talking a lot with other guests about the first months that are very critical. But I want to talk with you a little bit because you also breastfeed your toddlers until they were almost 2 years and a half. When do we decide that it's okay to stop breastfeeding? And then when we choose to, and then here is both, it can be early or can be late, how we empower ourselves to trust ourselves and to know that that is the right decision for us and our babies versus what society is telling us, because that is one of those points where it's very clear and evident what we hear all the time, that society will never be happy. So if you stop too soon, then you stop, then it's too soon and the baby needs the milk. But then if it's 2, 3, 4 years old, then what is wrong with you? That is too long. So,
Yes.
how moms can handle that, and then let's gonna talk a little bit from your experience. What is a gentle, nice process to start weaning, especially a toddler? Because when it's a baby, well, the baby will usually be changed from the booby to a bottle, so the
Yes.
change is not that drastic. But when we are talking about a toddler, it's not only the milk, but it's the comfort and their safety and how they feel attached to mom. So it's gonna help us to understand a little bit of what is that journey look like and how was your experience with your twins, because with you was not only one, was two of them.
Yes. Okay. So I always try to talk from the first moment to the parents, because I start like this support in breastfeeding from pregnancy. So I I get a meeting with the parents. I always want that the father be there at this meeting, and I always explain to them this is a teamwork, but the mother decides where is the beginning and where is the end. Because I think that is as you said, we have many comments around the society, our family, our friends. Everybody is always uh, saying and commenting everything. So you are doing well, you are doing bad. As you say, it's too long, it's too short, everything. So from my experience, I talked to my husband and I said to him, from the beginning, I said to him, I want to breastfeed my twins until 2 years old because this is the recommendation of the OMS. So they said it would be great if you get the breastfeeding until 2 years old, and if you could make it exclusively until 6 months old, it would be great for the babies because it is the best nutrition for the kids and many things, vitamins, everything. So when my twins were 2 years old, we were in everything about COVID. So we were so worried about that. So I talked to my pediatrician and I told him I don't know if it is the right moment to stop breastfeeding because I could help my twins to be healthy with my milk. So he told us, I think that we could wait 3 or 4 months more after these 2 years old. And so we did it. I always say to the moms, so decide it and talk to your heart. If you are prepared for that, if you are ready, if you feel comfortable, stop the process, or if you need to continue some months more. Um, for example, I have a support or a course when I meet to the mom, and if the father wants to meet us, and I talk to her about the winning. So I explain that is a process, because I always recommend to make a natural winning, not with pills, nothing. So it's a process, because as you say, if you are going to do your winning with a toddler, is very different, because the toddlers, they understand, they talk to you, they are talking a lot. For example, my twins, they say lechira, mom, lechira, lechira. and and I began to explain, that it was that we were, like, to change, we are going to change, and they were taller, um, that they were not babies anymore. So I talked to them many times, and I did this process like during 1 month and a half. So we stopped the breastfeeding, like during nights first of all, and then in the afternoon. And we decided with my husband that we were going to stop the November 1st of 2012, I think. Yes. And so we took this decision, and my husband gave to me a cake, because I love cakes. He gave to me a cake with a note, with a note of my babies, and he said, "Thank you for this work, for everything you did for us, for our intelligence, our health, everything. We are okay. We are ready." And then we had 3 days that were difficult, but I explained to them and explained, we are not breastfeeding anymore. We are okay. You are healthy now. You are eating all the food. You are drinking milk from the cow, or something like that. And they understood. It was a nice process. And I always try to do the same thing with the moms that I help.
And I think that is beautiful how you did the process, and I love how it was a family decision, and then your husband was also able to um, support you, because I will tell about my own experience. My first 3 4 months breastfeeding were really hard. Like, I had to fight every day to save our breastfeeding journey, and I think
Yes.
that because of that, I have had an extra attachment to it. So I think that is amazing that your husband saw that need for you to feel that it was okay, that your twins were actually okay with you letting go. And I love how you said, like, keep talking and keep explaining. I actually hear somebody saying that there was a milky fairy, where they will just say, hey, on this day, whatever, the milk is going and is gone and no more. And then that day, the milky fairy is going to bring you something as a big boy, a big girl, because now you are big. But it is, I think that the most important part there is, well, several things. I think the first one what you said is, it's our body as moms, and it is okay for you to call your body back. and say, I'm done. I did it for 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, 12 months, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, whatever the length is. One of the things that I always hear moms saying is that they feel guilt of not doing it for more time, longer. And one of the things that somebody once told me when I was struggling the first couple of months was, every drop, every day that you do it is a gift, and you are already giving a huge gift. So instead of concentrating on what else I could do, start having gratitude into what you already did, all those days, nights that you already breastfeed. So that's the first one, that it is okay, and we need to start normalizing that my body, I choose, and that
Yes.
we don't have to have shame on deciding to stop breastfeeding. uh, but then also, especially when we are talking about toddlers, understanding that breastfeeding is more than milk. The reality is they don't need the breast milk for nutrition after they are 1 year old. It is amazing, and one of the reasons why I do it still is because it's amazing for their immune system and to keep them safe. But in addition to that, there is a lot of emotional connections, that happen, that are going into, and that they feel safe. So I love how you said, have patience and keep repeating. Yes, mommy's boobies are gone. We're not going to have these more. So I love, 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 love that one. Now, let's gonna talk a little bit about what are the things that the partner or the family or the friends can do to support a breastfeeding mom to feel calm and support.
Yes, excellent question, because as I told you, many moms say that they feel alone in this process, that they don't have help or nothing, or nothing else. Um, so I think that the most important support from the family is to give like the power to the mom. So you are doing well, you are a great mom. This is a gift for you and for your baby. But first of all, the most important thing is that the mom feels comfortable and the mom feels empowered. I think this is very important because the family like influence these emotions of the mom. So if the mom is feeling like bored, sad, or um, very tired, so I think it is very important at this moment to say the family help the mom. So help her for resting, for sleeping some minutes, or eat well. I think there are few things, or like things that are short but that make difference in the psychological condition in the mother. Of course, there are big difficulties, and there are moms that have like depression or something like that. That is very important, and also in that situation, it is very important that the family be attentive and be very like conscious also in the psychological conditions of the mom, because this is very important. And as I have been repeating, that is the breastfeeding starts here, so the mom needs to be calm, relaxed, rest. So I think this is the most important thing. And also say the mom, uh, it doesn't, so like the phrase from the beginning, not last forever. So nothing lasts forever. The terrible nights, terrible days, the, I don't know, the difficult situations won't be forever. I can hear Joe.
Oh, I love that. And now I want to hear from you. Um, what are your tips for a mom that is pregnant and it is trying to breastfeed and had a successful breastfeeding journey?
Yes. First of all, I think that it is very important to prepare, to be conscious, and to know if the mother real want to do it. So if she is prepared, if she wants to do it from the heart. And also that, I always say, some tips. For example, start to be prepared from pregnancy, and also the father, that the father be prepared. Um, Also, it's very important that, to feel comfortable. So make your team work, so your support team. um, this is very important. And I think this is necessary from pregnancy. You don't have to wait the first days postpartum to make your support team. No, it is very important from pregnancy. um, Also, it's important to know
Let's gonna
that.
talk about that support team.
Yes.
Let's gonna talk about that support team, like what that support team looks like for you. If you are talking with a mom, give me specific examples of what a support team would look like for a mom.
Okay, the support team, I think, first of all, the partner, as you say, the partner, I don't know, uh, the father, or someone you are living with, grandparents. I think it's very important, the grandparents' love, the grandparents' cares. Um, because this love, this cares, I don't know, you always like the mom food or mom cares. So I think it's very important. The friends, for example, when I had my babies, one of them had to stay in the hospital because he had icteria. So we had to go to a home, and the baby stayed in the hospital. So my husband called my friends, my closest friends, and he said, please, um stay with her some minutes and talk about other things, not pregnancy, not breastfeeding, something different. And I think it is very helpful. So to a mom, it is very helpful. And I think that the support team uh, should be, like, prepared. And it doesn't have to be a big support team. So, but just the persons that the mom loves the person, that the mom is confident with them. So I think this is the most important thing: the confidence, the support, the help, and some cares for the mom.
And I love that. Let's go talk a little bit about one thing that you said that I love, and that is how important it is for moms to have that time to talk about anything that is not mom related, anything that is not breastfeeding, and why that is important. And I love that if you have friends, if you have family, how you can tell them and ask them about it and say, hey, that is something that I need. And I know that is challenging because as moms, especially first time moms, everything is around the baby. But it is important to know and remember and think that when we have that time to clear our mind and get distracted, that actually helps us to relax, to get the happiness hormones, endorphins, dopamine, and all of those things in our body actually are helping us for our main goal, that is the breastfeeding. So what are some of those topics, for example, that you talk with your friends that help you to get distracted when you were worried about one twin in the hospital, the other twin here, and your milk and all that?
Yes, I always like to talk about this story because um, when my husband talked to my friends, so they were talking about a party that they went. Um, so they were talking about that we were going to go out and to the dinner to go to dinner, and they were always talking about make some plans with me, like um, like for example when the babies will be 2 months maybe. So I think I was I was excited for new plans, for something different, and that is very important. The issue you were talking, because when I start to um, go out with my friends, I realized that my boobies were full of milk. This is very very impressive. So this is this is like the reality that the milk doesn't start here, it starts in the brain. So it was like awesome because I went out 1 hour in a month, 1 hour, and it was the difference to me. It was very excited because I felt the changes in my body, in my boobies, in the production. Everything is very different.
I love that. And I love how we go back into the same concept that I would love actually for all the moms to use and write down in a little paper, and that is your meal production doesn't start in your breast, in your boobies, it start in your mind. That is why it's so important to take care of your mindset, of your of your mental health,
Yes,
of, like Daniela was saying, having time with your friends, going out, um, having spaces for just be you as a woman. It is important. And then sometimes we can actually feel a little selfish about that because I'm not with the kids. But I love how Daniela said, like in an hour her breast was full, because when you are doing that you actually are doing it as a collateral benefit for your children, because as better you are mentally, as better your meal production is going to be.
yes,
Now, Daniela, let's go talk a little bit about a little bit of the hard part here on the breastfeeding, and that is um all the discomfort and the things that could happen with breastfeeding that nobody talks about.
Yes, I think that the reality is that, so I realized that many people talk about the hard things instead the good things. I realized that since I begin my project, because in the first moment that I meet the parents, I just ask to them, what do you think about breastfeeding? What are your myths? What are your doubts? What comments have you received from your family, from your friends? And always the answer is, this is the worst thing in motherhood. This is the terrible thing. This is the you feel the terrible pain. Um, it is so hard. So I always say to them, why don't you ask your friends the good things about breastfeeding? But I think the reality is that we always hear about terrible things. For example, the nipples pain. Um, for example, the first 4 or 5 days of breastfeeding, because the milk is going down, and you feel your body's hot, or um, you feel your skin like with many like balls into your boobies. You feel a terrible pain. You can't use your clothes, and you are with milk everywhere, every moment. So I think that many people talk about these terrible things, but I think that if you are prepared, that if you are comfortable, that if you are empowered in this process, it will be successful.
And how a mom can prepare for some of those things like the pain or the engorgement of the breast. What are the preventive things that a mom can do?
Yes, I think this is very important to start from pregnancy to um, use like some like oil or something like that, or yes, like oil. I don't know, in the nipples. Yes, or over the nipples. The so prepare with a skincare all your body. And this is very important to like to have a routine, or a skincare routine in the nights, for example. I always say to the moms, when you are going to bed, prepare your skin and feel comfortable, and always think about your breastfeeding as a successful breastfeeding. It is very important. Feel comfortable, feel empowered. And for the nipples, I think this is very important to maintain the nipples hydrated. And I think the rest, it would be good.
Okay. And now, as we start closing the program, what is one thing that you see commonly happen with breastfeeding journeys? What is the number one reason that you see that moms choose to breastfeed, stop breastfeeding, and that you are saying like, they are making the decision because they didn't have the support or they didn't have the right information. So what is one of those main reasons why moms may decide to stop their breastfeeding journey? Not because it's a really honest decision with themselves, but because they are exhausted or in pain, and it's because they you wish, you are like, oh my god, I wish they had this support. I wish that they knew this. What are some of those main reasons?
Yes, I think the first thing is that the moms doesn't feel empowered. I think this is the first thing. So they have many doubts. They feel uncomfortable. They believe in everything they hear. So the comments, mm, she, the mom feels like insecure, like yes, that she can do it, that she is not doing well. So I think this is very important to feel comfortable, to feel the support. So I think this is the first reason. They are not empowered.
Okay. And now to close the program, why you don't just share, if you could just share one thing with the almost million people that are watching you right now, what will be that message about breastfeeding in the motherhood journey and as a conscious motherhood?
Yes, my message is always to feel empowered, to feel comfortable, to get a support team with your family, with your friends. And the most important thing is you. You, the mother, is the most important thing in this journey. So be prepared, feel relaxed, take your time, take naps during the day, take the time to rest, to eat well, to be hydrated, and to feel comfortable on your work.
Thank you so much, Daniela. And now, if there are people around the world or even Colombia that want to connect with you, how they can reach out and learn more about the mom project that you are working on.
Yes, thank you. Our Instagram account is at MUM. Um, um, I don't know, like the,
Underscore.
yes, MATERNIDAD. Mum maternidad.
Okay, so in Instagram, mum underscore maternidad. That is the word in Spanish for maternity.
Yes.
Thank you so much for being here with us, Daniela. I know that you moved some things to be here with us. I appreciate your being here and sharing your passion and your love. Thank you for the work that you are doing, helping moms to feel empowered and confident into choosing what is best for them and their babies. And for the rest of you, if you hear something nice today, something that caught your attention, I would love if you go to my social media at Joe Unicorn Coach, Facebook or Instagram, and send me a message. Share with me what was one takeaway, one thing that resonated with you, one thing that you are like, oh wow, I didn't know that this was so important. And also, I would love for you to share with me what else you want to learn about motherhood, what other topics, what other guests you want to see on this TV show. We are here to serve you and to help you to win the marathon of motherhood without burnout. Now, this show can also be heard at the Spanglish Radio Network. Please check out www.spanglishworld.ca for all the news and programming. Spanglish World. Watch it, hear it, read it, download it, and live it.